The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Martin Luther King Jr. stood his ground as he said this and challenged those who meant to stand in the way of freedom, of the freedom that America is known for. This quote also describes his opinion of a strong person as one who fights for what is right and for those who cannot fight for themselves. Even though this quote was meant to shake his opponents, it also provides standards for inspiring individuals to follow. Whether they are basketball players, teachers, accountants, or pilots, a person who stands their ground and fights for what is right is regarded as a hero. These standards can apply to anyone, but one of the fields that this is known best in is without a doubt the military, proving that veterans are very important to society throughout history. There are many people in the world who believe that veterans do not have a place for them in society or that they have committed evil deeds and do not deserve to come back to the world. This is not always true, however, since most veterans have a family to return to and lives that they must continue back at home. Some jobs back at home require a work ethic or skills not found in an average citizen, while veterans are more likely to meet the criteria and qualify for tougher jobs. More importantly, if veterans only served in war and they had no lives back at home at all, the military would have the equivalent of full-time soldiers and be far more likely to join or start a war, killing many people in the process. Veterans are individuals who have gone off to war in an effort to protect their country while also serving as strong reminders as to how cruel war is. For veterans to put their lives back at home on hold to go off into war shows bystanders that these people are willing to put everything on the line in an effort to protect their country. On the rough side of war, many soldiers end up losing their lives on the battlefield or taking grave injuries from fighting against the enemy. Tragically, some soldiers return without any physical injuries, but their psyche has been damaged to the point where they will not be able to transition back into their usual lives. For veterans to endure hardships of this caliber, they have to be strong enough to not only make it back home, but also transition back into the world. Strength is required to join war, but it is also gained from experience in dangerous situations. For example, military soldiers who have been in non-traumatic situations learn from those experiences better and sometimes come out as a mentally stronger person. Back at home, soldiers act as better advisors in the community and in the workplace, now knowing the importance of strong leadership. A strong work ethic is also developed with veterans due to the hard work they put into training and actual combat. This work ethic is applicable in many situations back in the world, increasing productivity at home and also at work. Most importantly, priorities are much easier to set for veterans because they understand what is important to them, whether that be family or their economic stability. Veterans are able to focus on one thing at a time. All of these traits explain how veterans are able to lead and improve the workforce back in their own country, proving that they are valuable members to society. Wars are not started by soldiers. They are started when the government perceives a threat and acts against it. However, government is not perfect, and their history with wars has shown this. Government officials, leaders of our nation, often make mistakes that send soldiers to fight needless wars that will only cause strife in the country. Even after wars, government has pretended like everything has been solved, when in reality, veterans are struggling to make a life for themselves back at home. More importantly, while in war, the government has misled citizens about the war effort by portraying the enemy as spineless and the battles are being too easy when they are not. Even with talk of a peace treaty, the government will take months, if not years, to even meet with the opposing side to come to an agreement, forcing soldiers to continue the fight. On the other hand, government does take care of its citizens and leads the country as best as it can, even though it chooses to brush aside veterans for more pressing issues. Veterans are very important members of not only American society, but society as a whole across all countries. They are strong reminders of the cruelty of war, serve as strong leaders in the community, and provide evidence that government is powerful but not perfect. Citizens across the world should come to recognize that what veterans have gone through and the impacts they have had on society, only then will they truly be honored.